it is infinitely easier for you to learn a song in French, Frérot Jacques, than it is to learn French.
That's very true. Yeah.
You'll pronounce it correctly and you'll learn it. It is easier to learn a poem than it is free text. Now, that is multimodal to me because one has rhythm, that's why a poem works. And I can remember poems, why, going back to when I was, 10, 12 years old. The brain is so good at combining those things to imprint it.
Like Twinkle, Twinkle,
Yeah.
Little Star. That it's the rhythm of it. It's a completely different pattern that you're looking at.
And that's why, that's an example of the modes working together. And that's why we have poems and nursery rhymes and things like that, because that's how children learn and embed. And so if you take that sort of concept and ramp it up to adulthood and, say, okay, I can get the people to learn by involving sound, with reading or physical touch or haptic feedback. The key thing is that you engage multiple senses. And it goes back to a previous discussion we were having, when we're saying the brain is optimized, for the principle of least action. It wants to have the least amount of energy to do it. And if you have two different signals coming in, so the ear and the eye, the way it can integrate those signals mean it can use less information to pull out that signal. So obviously evolution is making that a key component. So the ability for the brain to process two modes, to look for that difference, to remove noise, etc., is so much more efficient than one mode. So it's always going to be something that is optimized, and that can then lead to how you build neural networks and the such. You can start to model that concept of, if I take different types of inputs and then integrate them in a certain way. So it leads to making more neural networks that model aspects of the brain better. And therefore those neural networks will be better than the simple back propagation networks we have now,